Peace. What's going on, everybody? Welcome to the Three the Odd Way podcast. Here with my brothers. We got Sherm the Barber up in this piece. You know what I'm saying? And my man Jay Cash.
I laugh every time you struggle with that.
Well, you know, it's new, man. You know what I'm saying? So, you know, we out here. It's only episode 2. I got to make sure I'm concentrating when I say it, you know, because, I mean, it's a new thing. I'm substantial, by the way. You know what I mean? Good, happy to be here. How y'all doing, man?
I'm good, man. All things considered, I'm good. It's crazy world.
Yeah. Yes. I mean, so, you know, we can just jump right in if you want, you know.
I mean, it's a lot, so I'm getting.
What sipping on before the kind of prep.
Good old Crown. It's one of them weekends.
Okay.
Good old vanilla Crown.
Got you. How about you,
sipping on?
Yes, I did.
I have something amazing right now. Origin of Darkness, Society Collective Arts collab. It is a Canadian whiskey barrel-aged imperial stout with marshmallows, cocoa, and cinnamon. It is fantastic.
Yeah, it sounds. What did you say before, Cash? You said it tastes like what?
S'mores.
Yeah.
S'mores.
Yeah. It does sound amazing, Sherm. You know,
definitely
Origin of Darkness.
Definitely a wintry kind of stout.
The name of it sounds like a prequel to the episode of Chappelle Show.
That's what I was thinking.
The prequel, The Origin of Darkness. Yeah, man. But yeah, fellas. So man, it's been a week. Oh, by the way, I am sipping on Agua. This is a 2021. I
was just going to ask what year.
Yes, it's 2021. It's quite delicious, very refreshing. You know. Thank you. Cheers.
Chilled or unchilled?
Say again.
Chilled or unchilled?
Slightly chilled. You know, in my thermos. So that this was poured earlier today, but it's still chill. It still feels like it's fresh out of the Frigidaire.
Spectacular.
Yes. Refreshing. So, speaking of things not so refreshing, this world we live in, ladies and gentlemen. So
this place we call America.
Yeah, man. So speaking of America, we saw some things this week, folks, and we saw a pro-Trump rally turn into an insurrection of sorts, where they
an insurrection.
Ain't no sorts in it, man.
No sorts. There you go. Yeah. You are right. Yes, you are right. We saw it turn into an insurrection where they invaded the United States Capitol right here in Washington, D.C., not too far from where us three live. So, gentlemen, who wants to talk about it first? Who wants to jump in?
Man, they showed they lily white racist asses. This is America in full exposure. It's been happening the whole 4 years that this jackass has been in office. But this right here was the collaboration of all the bullshit that he has put this world through come to fruition. And yeah, these people just can't handle the change. It was disgusting. This is definitely the ugliest thing I've ever seen in my 42 years of living.
I have so much to say about it. I'm gonna try to keep it short, but this isn't something that we didn't, at least I didn't. A lot of circles that I talked to didn't see coming. This is a bad child that you never discipline, who always got away with things, who you assume they learned their lesson the first time, and the slaps on the wrist that you give them weren't enough for them to turn full scale and change their ways. So as much as people are not going to want to hear this, we kind of brought it on ourselves. We brought it on ourselves by not taking it seriously. And not, they say if you don't know your history, you're bound to repeat it. So
Yes.
this was repeating of things that we already. Nobody that has a slogan that says "Make America Great Again," undefined, should have put everybody on along. Like, what are you talking about? What age are you talking about to make great again? Because great for majority ain't great for minority. And I think that we don't give enough credit to the people that know numbers. And what I mean by that is they do know that this country is changing. So the majority is becoming the minority. And the one thing that they fear is everything they set in place that give them an advantage. The white privilege that they plausibly deny, or the things that they say that, isn't real, you know what I mean? And try to act as if everybody has an equal and fair opportunity when most minorities know that it's not that case. What they're afraid of is everybody being equal. The very slogan that they love to tout is that, the home of the free, land of the brave, and every man created equal. That's a farce, and what we're seeing is the threaten, the reaction or the fear from being threatened of being equal come to fruition. That's basically what this is. They're stealing this from us. Stealing what from you? Are we stealing land? Are we stealing, jobs? Because, the unemployment rate is sky high right now. Are we stealing, your property? What are we actually stealing from you? What's happening is they're afraid of the ideologies that they've grown and learned to love being threatened. And the only thing that most minorities want is that you to keep your word. If you tell us that we can excel here, we want that opportunity to do that. If you tell us that this is the land of the free and the home of the brave, we want an opportunity to see that. You know what I mean? But don't tell us that, we can accomplish all these things while at the same time holding our shirts as we excel through this race called life. And that's basically what's happening. And we're living in a stage of, and I give credit to Roland Martin for this, is we're living in a stage of white fear, and that's what you saw happening this past Wednesday, is white fear coming to pass. That's it.
Yeah, man. Yeah, it's it's crazy to say the least, right? But I definitely feel like just watching all of this stuff, as I told friends earlier today as we were speaking, this is stuff that if you've been paying attention, no one should be surprised about, right?
Absolutely not.
And I mean, definitely since Obama was elected, guns, like purchase of guns have gone up. Also, on top of that, people becoming joining and signing up for these militias. More groups have popped up over the years than almost any other time in this country, and it's so has like people signing up for it as well. So yeah, it's one of those things that, like like you were saying about folks not being disciplined or checked. They know for a fact that, like, when they've shown up to different rallies or when they occupied a state park out on the West Coast, right, and a long list of other things that has happened, they've virtually gone unchecked for most of what they've done. And so it's no surprise that they thought it was a good idea to just run up in the U.S. Capitol. And people got everything from pipe bombs was found on people to
Molotov cocktails.
They brought nooses, bro. They brought nooses.
Yeah,
hung nooses and walked around with Confederate flags. Like, how? The thing that pisses me off the most is that a lot of those people gonna get off scot-free. Yeah, that's what pisses me off the most. Like, you keep telling us that these type of things don't happen, then we see it with our very own eyes, and then you say, well, it's an excuse for why they should go free. That's the part that pisses me off the most. You know what I mean? And that's what I fear, because you think about it like this: it's the U.S. Capitol, dog. It's probably no two buildings more protected than the White House and the Capitol. That's what most of our, the president stays, and that's where most of our politicians go. So how did all that happen? You know what I mean? How did all of that lack of all of a sudden happen on that day? The fact that you even have the audacity to do it is one thing, but what are you teaching the rest of the world? Is that easy? You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
You're teaching the rest of the world.
Is that easy when you look that way? Because apparently, they already showed the contrast between how they dealt with the Black Lives Matter protests as opposed to how they dealt with the Proud Boys protests, and it was astonishingly different.
Way different. Different. And that the part to me is what it's like, and the first thing that really came to mind, honestly, when this happened was when Malcolm X said the chickens come home to roost. You know what I mean? Because it's not going to be Black people that bring this empire down.
No,
it's not going to be that. It's going to be, stuff that's happened within itself with the majority that is right now. They're going to be the ones to do it. Yeah.
Most great empires, when they fall, it starts from within. You know what I mean? Like,
I definitely telling Jalen that today. I said every empire that falls, it usually starts within, and that's basically what we're saying. So it's a sad day. I feel for the officers that were killed. Rest in peace to Officer Sidnick, who I knew of since yesterday, but I'm just hearing about a second officer who killed himself. I had no idea. It's a lot of people with blood on their hands, man. A lot of people with blood on their hands. And I think everybody that was involved should be charged, including the president.
Absolutely.
You got to be charged for that. And like I said, if you don't check this, what happens to the next radical that comes up? What happens to the next person that feels like, you know what, all I got to do is appeal to the yahoos of this country, and then we gonna go out and we gonna fuck shit up.
Right.
If you don't check it now, and I mean hard, the politicians behind it, Ted Cruz, he needs to be checked. Hawley from Missouri, the Republican representative from Missouri, he needs to be checked. Eric Trump, Giuliani, all these people need to be, and they need to get the harshest treatment so that they know we will never have another civil war.
Right. And it's, the country has done far worse to people who have said far less. You know what I mean? And so, we can bring up a million examples, but if you think of like Project Move and in Philly, you know what I mean, where like they literally dropped a bomb on a home that was a part of row homes in a city. You know what I mean? Like, and mainly because they didn't like the rhetoric that was coming from that particular group. You know what I mean? And so when you think of the things that this country has done, like to people who ultimately just, said things that that folks didn't like, you know what I'm saying? Like, I'm just talking about the ones who said things that like people in power did not like, in the way the country responded. And it's crazy. But anyway, we could be on this forever. And this obviously is a topic that deserves far more time, but we got to keep it moving. But I will ask each of y'all this before we switch. Do you think they should move forward with impeachment? My stance on it is yes. As quick as they were able to get that judge in place, they can get money out of there. You know what I mean? And like, number one, there was initial concern, and even I thought about it, right? Like, by doing that, they're going to agitate, like some of the more extreme people or whatever who follow him. Who cares? At the end of the day, the people in power they literally have an army at their disposal. You know what they're going to do now. Absolutely. So if you don't prepare for whatever comes next, like while you're doing what you should do,
right?
It's going to fall on whoever didn't basically take the actions that they knew were necessary. But I absolutely feel like he should be impeached. He shouldn't be allowed to run for a public office ever.
He should not receive any of the benefits that presidents are allowed post term either. None of that.
Absolutely.
Yeah, he need caught up in a hole and die with his bitch ass, and along with whatever whack ass platform he hop on now, with the rest of his racist ass followers and all of that shit.
I definitely think they should go through with it, because the second impeachment means that he can't run again in 2024. For that reason alone, impeach his ass, so we don't ever have to have him running again, man. That's what you need to do. If you don't, what you're running a risk of doing is allowing him to stay in the shadows and to keep building up his
keep bubbling. Yep.
Yeah. In 2024, they really come back and they fuck some shit up.
Right.
Yeah. We are all in agreement, gentlemen.
Yep.
Let the church say amen. Amen.
Amen. Hey.
We're gonna toast this holy juice.
Right. Right. Yeah, man.
It's holy juice. It's crown, yo.
Yeah, so man, we're gonna get ready to transition. Let's get into sports goods. So Cash, what you got for us today?
Dun, 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 dun.
Okay,
so there you go, sir.
I was waiting for you, sir. Stop faking, cuz.
There you go. All right, so quite a few things. We're gonna run through them all. NCAA Championship is on Tuesday. That's Tuesday of this coming week. We have the Alabama Crimson Tide, Roll Tide, versus the Ohio State Buckeyes in a game which features Devontae Smith, who is the current Heisman Trophy winner. He's a wide receiver from Miami, versus Justin Fields, a runner-up for the Heisman last year. Justin's playing his last collegiate game. He'll be entering the draft along with Trevor Lawrence. Trevor Lawrence will be the #1 draft pick going to the Jacksonville Jaguars. It's rumored that Justin will be going back to Atlanta. And I say back to Atlanta because he's from Georgia. He actually played in University of Georgia. At first, he was actually recruited there, and he actually went to University of Georgia. But he left Georgia after some racial tension between him and the baseball team of Georgia, which was an interesting story. He went from Georgia, went to Ohio State, where he has now played 2 seasons, is doing very well, and we playing on Tuesday. So good luck to the young man, Justin Fields. The NBA, transitioning to the NBA. You shaking your head, Sherm. What's going on?
Man, it's bananas. It's crazy what's going on with the NBA is why I'm shaking my head.
The NBA is in trouble right now. And the reason why is because they have a COVID outbreak. It actually started with Washington Wizards, to be real with you. They played, I think, the Utah Jazz, I believe, last week. And then some players started, testing positive for COVID. Then they played the Celtics on the 8th of January. Celtics were due to play Miami, but they can't suit 9 players. Well, 9 players the Celtics have to sit out.
Why did they pop the bubble, man? That was stupid.
Because they want to do a full season. And I don't know if you remember, but last season the bubble didn't start until late. And at that point, they were thinking about canceling the season. So they cut the season short and just took the first, few teams from the top, from the East, and the first 2 teams from the West. And then they made them go live in a bubble, which was successful in the case that they didn't have a bunch of COVID outbreaks.
Right.
But it's kind of torture for the players because they are isolated from family, friends, things like that. But it's the price of playing basketball these days in a pandemic.
They're gonna have to mess around and cut the season short, looking like how it's going now. Yeah. So including like Jason Tatum and Jaylen Brown and 7 other players from the Celtics, they weren't even able to suit. Yeah, you know what I mean. So originally they were gonna have to play Miami tonight, an Eastern Conference rival, but that game got postponed. So it's not looking too good right now, and you know how things are. Once it starts spreading with one team, it eventually starts getting to a whole bunch of other teams. So we're in trouble when it comes to the NBA. I don't know what they're going to do, but more to come on that. Maybe next week it'll be another topic. Transitioning from that, we're going to talk about the NFL. Congratulations to Lamar Jackson, who won his first playoff game today against the Tennessee Titans in Tennessee, which is a big deal because for a while, a lot of sports commentators were against him, thinking that he wasn't able to get it done. He's a running quarterback.
that doesn't stay in the pocket much. But if anybody watched that game today, him leaving the pocket was exactly what was needed to actually hurt that Tennessee defense. As he scrambled for one touchdown, which was, I think, from 52 yards out, between 48 and 52 yards out, he just took off like a video game, Lamar Jackson, and that was the difference of the game. So congratulations to that brother. More local news, Washington football team, they played a home game against the Bucks, which a game really didn't get out of hand like people thought it would. It was an 8-point loss for Washington against Tom Brady and the Bucks. But the biggest story was their backup to their backup, Taylor Heineke.
The backup to the backup to the backup.
Backup to the backup to the backup. Yeah, like he got his first playoff start. And he played very well, to be honest with you, for a guy who was getting his first start. The one thing that's come up that's been recently interesting is that the internet never lies. No, the internet is forever, is what they say.
Right. I was about to say, never?
Yeah, it lies. Internet lies. But the internet is forever.
Right.
They dug up a lot of his recent tweets, and it ain't looking too good for him as far as like his future with the team. And the reason why is because he's a pro-Trump support and conservative who had a lot of very interesting things to say that are, for a team that's trying to get away from all negative PR right now,
right,
it ain't going to help his cause. And though we played well, I don't think, this is my personal opinion, I don't think it's enough to hang on to a backup to a backup to a backup.
If he likes Trump, he's a trash bag. Get him out of here.
It's just the wrong time where a lot of people are starting to abandon ship when it comes to 45.
Political views.
Yeah. So, you got to be careful what you say online or who you choose to support, because it says a lot about you. And, the irony is a lot of people are starting to jump ship now, but they had no problem for the past 4 years, which brings me to my last point, which is the PGA. So PGA is now officially Pro Golf Association will be canceling all tournaments and instituting a lifetime ban of events on Trump courses, including stripping Trump of hosting the 2022 PGA Championship. That is big. That is big. It's big.
Yeah. Right. 21 gun salute on that one.
Right. Yeah, it's big on a number of levels. The fact that Trump is, his major thing is golf. His favorite sport is golf. And the fact that the PGA has been so, for a long time, it's been exclusive. It was exclusive country club. We all know that. You know what I mean? It was strictly for whites. Tiger Woods was a big deal because it was a black man excelling, cobbling Nate, whatever he wants to call himself. Mama, I'm calling black.
Whole lot of Mama call Tiger. I'm gonna call him Tiger. Right.
Right. So
call him black. I'm gonna call him black.
Let's be real. They've had negative PR for a long time, especially when it comes to African Americans and how we view not only the sport but the organization as a whole. So for them to cancel
the Masters as well, I mean, then there's that.
The Masters, right?
right.
It's like it's played on plantation.
We got owners over here in football, and we got Masters over here in golf. No wonder blacks prefer the NBA. I mean,
right. So to add that to it, and shout out to them, I want to give them some credit because that's a bold move, just like what happened with Twitter, just like what happened with Facebook. Even though I got my views on that, and if y'all want to talk about that too, we can. But the fact that they did a full block of him, and the fact that they said, you know what, this is a lifetime ban. This isn't okay, we're going to ban you temporarily now. That's pretty huge. To me, it's setting the standard that feel what you feel, but you can't have U.S. citizens attacked. You can't have U.S. congressmen put in a bad situation the way that this Wednesday did it. Somebody could have really gotten hurt, and that crowd was actually looking for Pence and Pelosi. They were looking to do damage to these people. So for the PGA to step up and say, you know what, enough is enough, that's a big thing. Why it took them so long, that's another topic. I can't front. At the same time, I'm applauding for what they did. You know what I mean? And while we at it, just real quick, shout out to, because I know I got a minute left, shout out to Colin Kaepernick while we at it, because he said it a long time ago, and while everybody jumped on his back about him being disrespectful to the flag, you can't get more disrespectful than, actual American citizens turning on, the Blue Lives That Matter, as well as trying to attack sitting congressmen. So that's where we are with sports. Sports always bleeds into life. Life always bleeds into sports. It's no different. And then, more to come next week when, hopefully we have less of what happened this past Wednesday.
Right. Well, yeah, man. Thank you, brother. Sherm, it is on you. A lot's been, decent amounts been happening in the music world, but we know it was one of the biggest stories of the week. I'm sure you got some stuff for us on that, good sir.
Yeah, so it wasn't really a whole lot going on as far as new music, as far as what was on my radar. But what did catch my attention was the aneurysm that Dr. Dre suffered on January 4th. He reported the next day that he was doing fine. Of course, I want to send, my best wishes to him. But yeah, he's reported to be doing fine. I haven't seen a whole bunch recent on it. But yeah, like I said, he sent out a message saying that he was in recovery. And I checked earlier, and this was still a report from 5 days ago that said he was in stable condition. Funny thing, the day he reported that he was that he was reported to be in the hospital, there was an attempted robbery. No, actually, there was a robbery at his home.
I didn't know that.
That was
I did see something about that.
That was due. They caught it was four people. They caught him. But yeah, it was the robbery was actually due to the posting of the fact that Dr. Dre was in the hospital. I thought that was pretty interesting.
Whoa. So he had the aneurysm and somebody tried to rob his house that same day?
No, they did. But they caught him. Yeah.
People ain't shit.
Speculation. What'd you say?
At all. He said people ain't shit. That's what he said.
At all, like you said, Stan, at all, man. But another interesting thing about this story is that it's reported that his wife has been giving him the BA'isness in court as far as alimony payments.
I was going to ask about that.
Yeah, this was prior to the aneurysm. So
I'm hoping that he got them papers signed as soon as possible, because all right, I'm gonna say this, and I don't give a fuck who got anything to say about it back.
Here we go.
I think she could care less if he died right now, because if he would have died today, before the divorce happened, she's entitled to everything in his estate. So she goes from fighting for these crazy amounts of numbers to inheriting it all.
That's spicy.
And I saw the first, I might catch some flack for that, but I don't give a fuck. The worst thing that can happen during the divorce is for somebody to die or get sick. That's the worst thing that can happen. It's unfortunate that it's happening to him. But I remember the original thing she was asking for. Man, them shits was crazy. Them numbers was crazy. I was like, what the fuck? I can't remember off the bat, but it's something like $20,000 a month for her phone bill. And I'm like, bitch, you better get Sprint. I'm sorry. you better you better die down something.
She knows what you're dealing with.
You better change your carrier or something. But anyway, I just think it's unfortunate for Dre because all this is happening during a divorce proceedings, you know. And before this happened, I also heard that she had sent him some type of text trying to get him to come spend some time with her. It's crazy, man. It's really, really crazy. And I hope that he pulls through. And I hope she finds, you know, the decency within her to kind of scale back on everything that's happening based off of this situation.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, man. We will see.
Hey, yeah, but yeah, like we said, best wishes to Dr. Dre. Hopefully, wish him a speedy recovery. Hopefully, he comes out clean and unscathed from the aneurysm. But next up, I was just cruising around the internet, you know, just looking for some interesting shit, and I found some interesting shit. I tell you, these 11.7 ABVs, they hit a little different. They make it turn a little heavy.
Right.
So, yeah. So cruising through the internet, I found this interesting story about Travis Scott apparently doing a Fortnite concert, which I thought was pretty dope and interesting at the same time. Like I said, it garnered him what was it? Over 45. It was a 5-day event that garnered him over 45.8 million participants throughout that 5 days. It was between like 12 to 20 million per concert. And these were not like, they weren't really long concerts. It's not like it was a bunch of new music. Like it was just him creating content. Because Travis Scott is used to doing live performances. He can't do any live performances right now, but he can make giant ass Travis Scotts on Fortnite for people to follow and drive followers to his Spotify and more purchases for his music. So, it definitely meant more money for him. But I thought that was pretty fucking dope. I watched some of of course, on YouTube, they posted a few of the videos. That shit it was crazy.
Yeah,
like, crazy.
Yeah. So you were just seeing it recently, because for those who haven't seen it, it actually took place toward the middle of the year and stuff. But this was your first time hearing it?
Yeah, it was it was my first time hearing about it. But yeah, like you said, it was earlier in the pandemic when it actually happened. I'm sorry, I forgot to state that.
Yeah, no problem. Yeah, man, it was pretty amazing. I remember, I forget what month it was, but my homeboy hit me up shortly after it premiered, and he was like, "Man, I don't know if you heard about this or seen it," because I saw it pop up on my timeline, but I'm not a super fan of the brother. I've definitely heard some songs by him or seen some features that I dug, but not a super Travis Scott fan like that. So I didn't rush to click it. But my man Micah, shout out to Micah Black, like he hit me up, was like, "Bro, have you seen this? Have you seen this shit?" and then he hit me with so what I want you to do, I don't want you to just watch the performance. I want you to watch people responding to the performance and then go back and just watch the performance. And bro, yeah, man, it was amazing. It was amazing. The amount of time that they put into creating that. And it was just awesome, like how it came out.
Yeah,
he seems to be doing very well with his endorsements because of the whole what you just said, and then with Fortnite, as well as the McDonald's Travis Scott meal.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? Like,
he doing it.
Oh man, the white people love him. White people love him. They love him. Man. He's Black Jesus out here to them, man.
Who's he dating right now? Is he dating one of the Kardashians?
I think he had a baby with one of them, don't he?
Yeah, a baby with one. Wow.
I don't give me the line. I'm probably lying.
I don't know. No, I don't. Wow. Yeah, I don't
know. Don't care.
Wow. Right.
Yeah, I think he's dating one of the Kardashians, which I don't know if, that's a good thing or a bad thing these days.
Yeah, I mean,
terrible thing all days.
What famous black guy isn't?
Right.
I mean, the
It's,
ones that make it out of the what was it, the
sunken place.
the sunken place, they tend to do all right. The ones that make it out tend to do all right.
Hey, but one made it out, and that was the basketball player,
James Harden.
Name
Yeah,
Chris
James
Humphrey.
Harden. No, Chris Humphries. He's ass though. I don't know how to explain it. He was ass before. He was ass after. I can't even. But James Harden, he made it out.
right.
Reggie Bush made
I was
it
going
out.
to say him. Reggie Bush.
Yeah.
His career was.
Oh no, his career did suffer.
Right.
Yeah, his career took a hit. Lamar Odom, god damn.
Oh,
Yeah. Oh man.
I think
Serious cautionary tale, bro. Like, you sure you want to do this, cuz?
right.
Yeah.
The way people say, remember 9/11. Right. Dating relationship, dating advice to black men who are interested in dating the Kardashians is remember Lamar Odom.
Right.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? The same level of intensity, be like this man's life. I mean, I'm pretty sure he had a good amount of issues, prior. It's kind of like the Bobby Whitney joint. Like, people always try to blame it on one or the
Bobby, but
reality of it is they all had their issues coming into the joint. You know what I mean?
Whitney was as wild as Bobby was. People didn't know that because of Clive Davis.
Bobby, what you talking about?
Yeah, she was. She was. Rest in peace. I ain't gonna speak negative to the dead, but let's keep it 100.
Not negative.
Yeah.
Yeah, the truth is the truth.
Wild ain't negative.
I have no size. You know what I'm saying?
But y'all, speaking of, y'all hear that Kanye is now about to get divorced from
Her or she trying to divorce him?
She's divorcing him.
The way you said it made it seem like Kanye was like, "Yo, I'm out."
Yeah,
no, the other way.
No. My opinion on Kanye is that ever since his mom died, bless her soul, he hasn't been the same. But I knew that when somebody's going through something like that, you need somebody that's going to help you get better, and not necessarily enhance some of the demons that you carry. And I think that that's what was happening with Kardashian.
So look, right? Hey, first, somebody give me a time check. And second, do y'all know the full rumor? Do y'all know the full rumoritic story behind
I heard about it. I don't want to believe it because that's on some whole nother.
Hey, if it make the man happy, if it's true and it makes the man happy, if we can get old Kanye back from him fucking with what's his name?
Jeffrey something.
Jeffree Star.
Yeah.
Whole time, look,
I ain't heard nothing.
So whole time. So here's the story, Stan. Apparently, Kim Kardashian might be fucking with Van Jones, and Kanye West might be fucking with Jeffree Star.
Wait. What? You're not going to slide that by Van Jones from CNN? Van Jones?
Van Jones.
What?
Yeah. Hey, I'm just giving you quotes from the rumor mill, dog. And this is, check it out. It's out there. But wait though. So whole time when I heard
all them visits that she made to the White House, she going to the political field.
She all over the place, man.
She going entertainment. She go.
When I first heard the story, right? I heard the Van Jones part. I'm like, oh God, she got another black man about to tear his ass up. We can't believe nothing Van Jones say no more. He fucking with a Kardashian.
He cried too much. Is that gonna work? Well, Kanye cried a lot too.
But look,
that's a crying ass motherfucker. Yeah,
look, let me finish the story.
It's cleansing, Cash. It's cleansing. You know what I'm saying?
This motherfucker cried the heartbeat.
Go ahead, sure.
Man, how do you feel about that? Well, I started it. I didn't. Like, bro. Like read the results real quick. Like, calm your ass.
My whole face hurt. Yeah, go ahead. Yeah.
Hey, but look. So
go ahead, man. Go ahead.
So when I heard the Kanye portion of it, right? I'm like, Jeffree Star. I'm like, I've never heard of a woman named Jeffrey. I wonder what culture or what language that they have a female named Jeffrey in, because that's interesting. I've never heard a woman named Jeffrey. So I go to my phone and I'm like, I'm about to look up Jeffree Star and see what she looks like. Cause it's just, I'm an 80s baby. So it's Kanye. So I'm like, this is Jeffree Star. Nah, this is something different. This is like a female who goes by Sam all the time. So I'm like, clickety, clickety, click, 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 Jeffree Star. Oh, Jeffrey. This is a Jeffrey. This is a real Jeffrey.
Hey, but real talk, this whole story sounds like a little far-fetched for me. But first of all, I'm not going to say whether it's true or not. Nobody's heard from Kanye since it all came out. It could possibly be that she's trying to ruin his career or ruin his career is already pretty. Anyway, she's trying to ruin his whole image because she's just filing for divorce. But if what you're saying about her and Van Jones is true, and then the whole Jeffree Star is true, man, this Holly Weird is on a whole nother level, bro.
Yeah.
A whole nother level.
Always is, man. It's always is. But look, I ain't got but a few more minutes left. So let's we gotta exit the fuckery room.
All right, my bad. Apologies for the 3 to Hallway listeners out there. I kind of took it there. My bad.
Hey man, they got the juice though. They got the juice now. They can go check out the fuckery. So, last but definitely not least is the music portion of my segment. I was trying to think of the word that I was trying to think of, but it didn't come to my mind. But yeah, so what I've been listening to this week, and it so recently I was watching, I watch Revolt a lot, and I've been watching Revolt, and this video keeps coming up, and it's this kid, he talking about, I roll my dice since day one. I'm like, and every time I catch the video, it's at the end of the video, but I'm like, yo, this shit is dope. Like, it's a dope vibe. It's just a really good look. So I looked the kid up. He's a local artist. I haven't found out quite how local he is, but his name is Uno Hype. And this kid is dope. I don't know how old he is. I know he's younger than me. I'm 42. I know he's younger than me. Like I said, he's a newer artist. He doesn't have a whole lot of info out about him right now. I learned a lot about what he's doing right now through this I guess a podcast called On the Radar. I don't know how it's supposed to work with telling everybody where I got my sources from or whatever, but yeah, it's called On the Radar. Boom, there you go. But yeah, so his name is Uno Hype. Like I said, he's from Maryland. He is a very introspective artist. Like I said, all his write-ups that I found on Spotify and everywhere else, they all quote kind of say the same thing. He started. I don't know how far back his music spans, but I know he took a hiatus before he reemerged in late. His biggest reemergence was before the pandemic. But before that, he was working on a punk rap group called Gump, Give Us More Power, which I found very interesting about this artist. The group apparently didn't work, so that's when he reemerged. His reemergence was kind of like right before the pandemic. He's a very introspective artist. Very soulful, he has a very, very gritty, like he's got a gritty kind of voice, but it's still kind of smooth at the same time. The kid is really dope. he has an album slated to drop later this month, actually, called Soul Glow. It's supposed to be a 13-track project, which is which from his mouth, it's supposed to have like each track so far that I've heard has visuals, and this is supposed to turn into a short film once the project is released later this month.
Dope.
Which I am extremely anticipating. Like I said, once I found out about this dude, I could not stop listening to him. Like I've been listening to him damn near every day since I heard about him. He's got a lot of he's got a few different producers on the album, such as himself, Childish Major, Hollywood JB, which was kind of a surprise to me because he's actually a Spillage Village artist. If we got any Spillage Village fans watching. So the tracks after I watched the day one video about 17 to 18 times, I went through Color Me. This one right here, if you want to hear something that's going to really make you like hold fast, day one, like every time I would hear day one, like it was definitely one of those tracks that would make me pause and like look at the screen like, what the absolute shit is that? But Color Me though, oh my God, like especially pertaining to what's going on right now, it's actually the song is actually 2 years old, but the subject matter pertaining to the current state of this country right now is so relevant. And it's basically it's an exploration of how the black man is colored by the media. And it's nothing that I heard from him is anything that's like groundbreaking or anything like that. But I like his perspective and I like his approach to some subject matter that that's already kind of commonplace. And right. With me, how I am now and how things are going, like shit like this is therapeutic to me because like it's just good to hear a good beat over how you feel inside. Like it kind of helps you deal with what the fuck is going on. Like Color Me, like I'm telling you, that shit is so like it's such a passionate track. So that's we got Color Me. I'm sorry, what'd you say, Sam?
No, that was Cash.
I said that's good to hear because that, to me, I think the balance of content is definitely appreciated right now.
Oh, he's got hella balance. Like he's got Pot of Gold. These are the standout tracks to me. Pot of Gold, Tuesday, and Untitled. And like he definitely it's kind of like he's got two different. He kind of exists in two different artists. Like he's got this real vibey kind of side, and then he's got this real gritty, hard kind of. I don't even know who to compare him to. Like you're going to get a lot of feels from him, like from a lot of different artists. Like when I was listening to him, I got a lot of Oswald Benjamin feel from him, but I'm not saying that he is derivative of Oswald Benjamin at all. But it's just a lot of these a lot of the artists that I listen to, they kind of they tend to fall under the same vein. So you're going to tend to hear some similar subject matter, some similar flow patterns, some similar usages of different sound effects or whatever like that. But yeah, the dude is nice, man. I love him. I'm really looking forward to Soul Glow coming later this month, like I said. But when you get a chance, definitely go check out Color Me and Day One and everything else after that. He's on Spotify. He's on he's on most platforms that I saw. He's definitely on Instagram. He's definitely on Facebook. But yeah, check him out. But yeah, that's me and that's it.
That's what's up, man. Yeah, definitely got to check that dude. Yeah, it's always dope hearing people who can talk about things that you're kind of already aware of, but can kind of bring a new feel to it and make you interested. You know what I mean? You've heard those things before, All right, so let's see. So, gentlemen, it's been no shortage of quality, things to watch over the last year or few months, and especially what's about to happen this year. But the main thing I've been watching lately, so this one show that it popped up when I turned on HBO Max. I saw it show up in my recommendations, and I was like, man, let me go ahead and just see what it's about. So this show is called Warriors. The original name of it actually is the Itchy Onion, right? Like a lot. Yeah, I mean,
What?
right? I know. So many questions, but if you watch it, you'll understand. Basically, the reason why, like a lot of times, certain movies or shows that we watch that are originally from different regions in the world, when they translate the slang for a particular thing or translate the word or whatever, the definition of it isn't like how it's read isn't necessarily appealing in that particular market. So they change the name to fit that market. Right. And so, but like slang, whenever they meet somebody who's kind of scrappy, seem like they got a little bit of an attitude, a chip on their shoulders and stuff like that, they oftentimes, I don't know what the word in Cantonese is, but they basically call them like an itchy onion, right? It's like a way of kind of describing a person who fits that mindset. And so, but the name was changed to Warrior. And so Warrior takes place in basically the late 1800s, around like the 1870s. And it's in San Francisco. Like most of the show takes place in that particular area. And it focuses on basically race relations between whites and the Chinese in San Francisco. You also see the interaction between the Irish and how the Irish are constantly fighting with the Chinese for jobs. And so a lot of the subject matter, the different things that they are talking about is very much you can very much relate a lot of these issues to what's happening now. You hear people all the time talk about how foreigners are taking up job opportunities and stuff like that. And so, but a lot of times we tend to point fingers at the group who we feel like are taking the jobs from us as opposed to looking up top. And that's what this show does. It really kind of shows you that it's really not the Chinese who are creating the problem for the other group of people. It's the fact that the politicians are basically like, I can get these. They just getting off the boat. I'm going to give them this work and it's paying less, but they'll take virtually anything because they just, got here and they don't know. They so it deals a lot with that. Which is dope. And then it also, there's a lot of powerful women in the show, a lot of women who are basically, dealing with, they are sometimes smarter or more in control than some of their male counterparts, right? But like the smarter men in the room understand that that's the real threat, not necessarily this dude who's kind of the figurehead, so to speak. So that's really dope. Man, it's so many. It's a drama, but it's also like a really, really dope martial arts show as well. Like the fights. My
man got a hatchet in his hand.
Yeah, hey, bruh. Hey, bruh, like, man, like
a hatchet in a 3-piece.
Hey, bruh, it's Thanksgiving every episode because they carving up turkeys all through this joint. All through this joint. Turkeys getting carved.
Who produces the show, man?
So it's produced by Justin Lin and it's also produced by Shannon Lee. Shannon Lee is Bruce Lee's daughter. Justin Lin actually, worked on The Fast and the Furious. And it stars a bunch of different folks. Andrew Koji, that's the guy you're seeing in the middle. He's the main actor. And when the show starts, he's like fresh off the joint. It came out in 2019. And the last season 2 was 2020. And they're working on season 3, which should be coming soon. Super excited. It also has Joe Taslim in it. That's the dude, one of the many amazing actors that was in The Raid. If you've never seen The Raid, oh my God. Treat yourself.
I probably got like a third of the way through it. I don't remember any of it.
Oh man, that joint is brolic. Shout out to Nick. He put me onto that joint. But yo, solid acting, really great story, great action. I love the plot. It's interesting how they use language in the show as well, because like, you know, a lot of the characters are speaking in English, but what you realize later on, like they're really speaking to each other in Cantonese, right? But whenever they're talking to each other so that you can follow what's happening, they're just really speaking in English. But there's a character who they show him speaking to, like when he's speaking to other Chinese, his English is perfect, which basically means that he's really speaking in Cantonese to them because they understand him perfectly. And then when he speaks to someone who's American, he's speaking in like, it's like a broken English. Dog, like those little things that they do in the show are really, it's different, bro. It's different. It's probably one of the best action/drama shows that's out right now that a lot of people maybe aren't hip to. Shout out to Steph because she was mentioning it last week during the premiere of our last episode. So yeah, man. So that's that show. My other recommendation is something that it's a Netflix original. Just came out. It man, it got my birthday twin. Nicolas Cage is the kind of like the narrator, so to speak. Yeah, and you know that you know he crazy. Cage, well, look at it, man. But if y'all have not seen the history of swear words, I definitely recommend it. I'm not gonna spend a lot of time talking about it, but it's definitely worth checking out. It is hilarious. Like, yo, I love the different perspectives, right? Like how they got the different comedians, open mic Eagles in there. You know, Nicolas Cage, as I mentioned, is the host. They got D-Ray Davis up in there, Sarah Silverman, and lots of other folks. They got brought into the episode where they get the history of the word shit. Of course, when they talk about fuck, they basically, you know, they don't have Samuel L. Jackson in there, but he gets mentioned a lot. You know what I mean? But I definitely recommend checking that out. It's on Netflix. You can stream the whole thing now.
What's it called again? One more for
it's called The History of Swear Words. You know what I mean? And so for my flashback, because I know we are running out of time. For my flashback, I'm gonna bring up this movie that I saw in my recommendations a while ago, and then someone who reviews films who talked about one of the best movies that came out in 2019. So this is a bit of a flashback joint. It came up on their list, and then I saw it pop up on someone else's list, just talking about all of these different movies, but it just kept coming up in different people's lists. And this movie called Booksmart. Booksmart. Yo, so it's like super bad, right, in a lot of ways, but imagine if it really just kind of focused on two girls who were, instead of two boys, two young men, it's two young women who basically were straight A students, top of their class, their whole school experience, and then decide like at the end of the year that like, yo, we're gonna cram 4 years of partying, everything that we should have done into one night. You know what I mean? And yeah, bro, just all I can tell you is just if you need a pick me up after the week we've had and after the year we've had, right? I highly recommend watching this flick. My wife didn't know much about it, and I recommended that she check it out with me, and we were not disappointed. Yo, it's hilarious from start to finish. Great message. Reminds me a lot of Superbad, like I mentioned, but with a more interesting twist. And they got the main two actresses. That's Caitlin Dever, Beanie Fedstill, and then it also has Jason Sudeikis and Jessica Williams is actually in it too. She plays one of their teachers who she's hilarious, but I ain't gonna get into much more about her role in it. You just gotta see it for yourself. And so lastly, man, just to wrap it, because I know we got to go. The things I'm getting ready to watch this week, this Friday is WandaVision. MCU is officially back.
Crazy.
Yeah,
I'm going to check that one too.
Yeah.
Crazy.
Yeah,
I can't wait. What does WandaVision mean?
Like, the name is Wanda and the character Vision. because of their relationship. So it's just their two names put together, right?
Okay.
But then there's another play on it because like a lot of what you're seeing isn't actually real. So these are visions that Wanda has kind of formulated and put out there so she can kind of live in this mindset that she has. But yeah, man, like I ain't gonna say too much until I see it. And just know that next week we're gonna be getting into it. Disney Plus only gives you like an episode a week, so it's gonna be a bit different. But yo, we gotta go. We gotta go, son.
Come on, man.
We over time, B. We gotta go, son. You know what I'm saying? You know, but yo, it's so much. It's so much, man. And you know,
it's Sherm fault.
Nah. It's what's on you, Kane.
Wait a minute.
You bringing in Kanye, Jeffrey, and Kim, and
my bad for introducing Kanye.
You brought that shit up. I was whole time too. I'm sorry. I was hoping that nobody was gonna say nothing about that because I'm like, I don't want to talk about that shit. But as soon as somebody says something, I'm gonna have to add a portion that I have learned. As soon as James opened the box,
you know what I'm saying? He just went in there, cracked Pandora box wide open. You know what I'm saying? But yo, I will say this about it, and then we really gotta go. Because I ain't really say much. Look, man, you know, Kanye has clearly. You know, I mean, the brother has dealt with a lot emotionally. And it's a completely different beast dealing with your demons and your struggles in the public eye, like with no real privacy. I mean, you got a TV show being filmed in your home. You got all of these different things. And clearly you're suffering from mental illness on top of all that. And it is very little room for people in that situation to really kind of properly heal. So, yo, I will say all this. I don't know if the rumors are true, but whoever he ends up with, like man, female, whatever, man, like man, woman, I don't care. Like, yo, I just want the brother to heal. You know what I mean? Exactly. And whatever helps to get him there, whatever, you know, I hope it's more about himself and less about the people he's trying to spend his time with. But like, he really got to look within and deal with a lot, man. And he definitely needs some people around him who's going to help him do that. So,
hey, real talk, that's a show in itself, bro. So we should just go ahead and put that right here.
Right.
And maybe write that down because it's a lot to unpack.
Man.
Absolutely. But hey, man, thank y'all for tuning in per usual. We will be back next week with more goodness to talk about with our brothers here. And yeah, man, we appreciate y'all per usual. Definitely make sure you subscribe on whatever platform you are listening or watching on. And we appreciate it. More updates coming to you soon. Thank y'all for watching / listening. Peace.
Deuces.
Yeah.
Oh, bus head.